Welcome to our 2017 Georgetown by Forest River. It's a 351, so that means it's a bunkhouse that is about 36 feet long. There's a lot of amenities, a lot of things that are similar to other RVs and some things that are different. So our goal today is to kind of give you a quick walkthrough on the general overview of the layout of the actual RV, and then also some details on how to do specific functions. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so a quick overview about where everything is. So here we have the exterior controls over here, and then we also have the refrigerator battery on off. Here we have the forward cabin and the driver's cockpit. There's a lot of controls over here that control the driving function as well as some other functions for the RV itself. We have the dinette, which also folds down into a bed, and then we also have a couch with recliners. Full residential kitchen. One of the things that we always want to make sure that we do is latch these before we drive, otherwise the refrigerator can open and all the contents can come flying out. And then by the bathroom we have the controls and the sensors, the gauges that tell us where we're at as far as the water, the gray, black, fresh, battery, and LP as well. We have the control for the first air conditioner and for the second air conditioner. Now we want to remember, if we are using generator power, we only use one air conditioner at a time. When we're hooked up to 50 amp shore power, 2 air conditioners is fine. We are at the front door, and right over here we have our control panel. Battery disconnect, so the main battery for the coach. We have the awning control, we have the step control, and the 2 outside lights, as well as the control for the batteries for the refrigerator. The awning is very easy to use. If you want it out, you simply press the out button, and as you can see, the awning automatically goes out. And you want to take it all the way down until you see it stop. This is one of those items that has the fail-safe that the engine cannot be running when you run the awning. So the entrance step, when you get to where you're going, if you want to not have the door retract every time you shut the main door, you can see it automatically retracts. So what you'll do then, so you don't have to wait for the steps to come down and go back up every time, is you can simply press the button up, and now the steps will no longer retract when you shut the door. And also over here you have the pro watt voltage, so while you're traveling you want to make sure that the batteries are connected. Okay, so here we are at the command center for the interior compartment, and what we have here are some sensors that tell us where we're at for the gray water, the black water, fresh water, battery, and LP. So basically the gray water is everything that goes into the sinks, and the black water is everything that goes into the commode. And so we want to make sure that these levels never get higher than full, so we don't have a mess when we're traveling down the road with water, with gray water or black water coming out into the compartment. We also want to make sure that we maintain our battery levels. So if our batteries are low, that means the compartment batteries are low. Here is an important feature over here. We want to make sure that if we do want to turn on the water heater, we turn the water heater on. This is an important one, is making sure that the water pump is turned on. And if you're not hooked up to the water line at the campsite, this water pump is crucial to have water pressure. All right, and now we get to the slides in and slides out. So it is a little bit reversed in this unit. The slides for the front are actually the back slide button, and the slide for the rear is actually in the front. So they're kind of swapped, but you'll just have to notice that when you're doing it. One other important detail is that, again, the engine must be turned off in order to operate the slides. Over here we also have the forward air conditioning unit, air handler, and then like one for the back as well. So we have 2 air conditioning units in this unit. I would recommend only running 1 air conditioning unit if you're running off of anything other than 50 amp shore power. Here we are at the self-leveling system. At this point, we're going to want to have the slides retracted back in. We don't want to operate the self-leveling system while the slides are out. We also, in order to operate the self-leveling system, need to have the emergency brake on, and the engine needs to be running for this operation to be performed. So if we turn the engine on, we can see then that the LED lights on the LCI leveling system start to flicker. So it is very easy to run the self-leveling system. All you need to do is press the on button and then press the auto button. Remain very still while the self-leveling system engages, and once the self-leveling system has leveled itself, you will see a flashing green light right in the center. When that flashing green light is flashing, then you can go ahead and turn the self-leveling system off, and you're all set. Now, when it's time for you to retract the self-leveling system, what you'll need to do is make sure that the slides are all in and the cabin is ready to go. Make sure again that the emergency brake is on and the engine is running. If this is not happening, then the self-leveling system will not function. Then we will turn it on again, and all we have to do is hit retract all. We'll wait for about 30 seconds, and once the green flashing light has stopped, we'll know that the self-leveling system is retracted. All right, so we can see there's a shade in the windshield and we can't see anything. It makes it very difficult to drive with the shade in the windshield. Well, the shade retract and engage is right here. All you need to do is simply press the button down or press the button up. Let's talk about the generator. The generator we will use if we do not have shore power. It's very easy to engage the generator. All you need to do is simply press down to prime the generator and then hold the button down until the generator has completely started. You can see once it's started and it's running, the light will continue to stay on. Remember, always make sure that the bungees are latched before you travel, because we don't want to have the food from the interior of the refrigerator on the floor. Okay, so much like a control panel or a service panel in a house, the coach also has an electrical panel located underneath the bed. And you can see there are fuses that can pop and would need to be reset if there is an overload or some sort of event that would trigger that fuse to turn off. And that, again, that is located directly underneath the bed. So let's go over the exterior compartments of the coach. Here we have a storage compartment, and we have another storage compartment. These two storage compartments are designated for shoes, pets, tools, and over here we also have an area that really there's no access to other than controlling the hot water heater. That's something that you won't have to worry about. This cabin is for the water tank. You don't have to worry about that one. This one does store the chairs, so all of the folding chairs and the camping gear are located in this cabin. We've got the bike rack, which does have its own tutorial on how to use. We also have the sliding cabin, which the propane tank, the solo stove, the pop-up, the exterior rug, all of that is located in here. We've got the fuel, and it does require a key, which is on the keychain. Here is where the plumbing controls are, and we will have a tutorial on how to use the plumbing. Again, another storage compartment, I'm sorry, the generator. And another storage compartment which I use for chemicals. And finally, the propane tank. A very quick tutorial on how to use the propane tank. So as a safety measure, we always travel with the propane closed. We simply turn the propane counterclockwise to open it and clockwise to close. Once we're ready to leave our campsite, we want to make sure that we again turn the propane tank off so we're not traveling with gas in the line. A quick tutorial on how to use the sewer connections to the coach. To begin, we've got the city water fill. This is where you'll connect a hose to the spigot at your campsite. Very easy to do. Remember, hook the hose in, and then on the other end, hook the hose, and be sure to turn the water on. Once you do this, the coach has water pressure, and there is no need to have the water pump on the interior of the coach. The freshwater tank fill, this is where you would actually fill the freshwater tank, and this is in the event that you are dry docking or boondocking and you don't have access to city water. And the back or the black water tank flush essentially just flushes the black water when you're cleaning the sewage out. So the way to empty the sewage is pretty simple. There is a tutorial that will be put together that will be done on site actually, but you have a connection hose that gets connected underneath, not to the exhaust, but to the sewage, which is just to the left of the exhaust. This cap comes off, it spins off, a little tight, and there's some good stuff in there, yummy stuff. And then this one screws back on, and then this end is connected to the dump station. What you'll want to do then is, once it's connected properly and connected to the dump station, you will pull this lever, and that will release the tank for the black water. We always want to make sure that we release the black water first and then the gray water, because the gray water actually flushes the system out with what I would say cleaner water. Once you notice that there's nothing more coming out of the hose and into the dump station, then you would shut the black water and then you would open the gray water. And you would watch, and once the water stops from the gray water, you would close the gray water and then disconnect the hose, spray the hose out, and then put the hose back into its storage container, and be sure to put it back in here for the next people that are using it. Alright, so that concludes our brief tutorial on how to use some of the features and functions of the 2017 Forest River Georgetown. There are some special unique things that we provide for people that are using our Class A RV. Those are brief tutorials as well as some QR codes throughout the RV that can help us answer some questions that may pop up if you are new to this RVing thing. Once again, feel free to give us a call if you do have any questions, and we hope you have a wonderful time on your adventure.